Hello everybody, Nesta McGee from Uplifting Life. Today I just want to do a quick kind of go through or explanation about human behaviour, because at the moment we're seeing rather bizarre behaviour all around the world, and no city, no town, no village is exempt from the feelings of what we're all feeling at the moment, and they're valid, or are they? Where are they actually coming from? So I hope to explain a bit where this comes from within us, so you can look at things in a different way and navigate your way through. So I'm going to talk today about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what is Maslow's hierarchy of needs? It is a way of explaining human behaviour. Okay, so we're going to talk about that first, and also about the 6 human needs from Tony Robbins. Now, Maslow was a psychologist who realised that we had certain criteria that had to be met as a human being, and when these criteria were met, when these needs were met, we could evolve in different stages. And his stages are, the first one is the physical level. Okay, so the physical level is about being able to breathe, being able to have food and water, to have rest, to have clothing. So it's very basic needs being met, very primal needs being met on this physical level. You know, so shelter's part of it as well. If we don't have food, if we don't have water, if we don't have shelter from the elements, we don't survive. So this is kind of, it reminds me of like caveman instinct, that you go out and get your food and you bring it home and you keep yourself warm, you keep yourself protected from the rain and the snow, and you know, try and keep yourself protected from the animals as well. So this is our first need, physical. And when the physical need is met, then we can move up to the next need, which is safety. And safety is security, security of your body, security of, say, employment, security of your home. You know, you feel safe, you know it's there for you, you feel that sense of peace and calm with it because you know you're safe. And there's also personal safety that comes into this as well. So when you have these needs met, you can move up or concentrate more on belonging. Belonging, you know, is connection, you know, love, intimacy. We all wanted to belong to something, someone, a tribe, a community. It's very important for humans to have that sense of belonging, because without it they feel very lonely and isolated, and that's not a good thing. By nature we are community based, we're tribal based. Look back in history, the tribes and the clans and all those things. So when we have these things met, and it doesn't have to go in that particular order, but you can understand how if we don't have this met at a very base level, you're not going to be progressing up into these things, because you'll be always focused on your survival, that you don't die. So esteem. Esteem is where you have prestige, you have a reputation, you have a feeling of power, accomplishment. And these needs, these are basic needs. And these needs are more social needs. Okay? So, you know, you know, people admire you, they might look at you as something, you know, higher than them. And that's very ego-based. This one is very ego-based. Okay. So then you often find people who go through this and make great advancements in their careers and things like that kind of start wondering, is this all there is? And they start thinking there has to be more. And they often come into this self-actualization, this self-awareness, you know, there has to be more than this. And self-actualization, this is where we can become creative and becoming the best we can be. Becoming the best version of us. I hope you can see that. And we achieve one's full potential up in this area. So whatever it was we were put on the earth to do, this is where that comes into play. We've dealt with all these things. They're all okay. We're safe. we belong, our ego's been stroked enough, and we move into this. It's the more spiritual aspect of being a human being. You know, we become more spontaneous, we become lighter when we're up in those areas. So it makes sense that people are operating from maybe these levels. They feel threatened, they feel threatened here. That their connections with people are going to be severed, which they're not, because we can all communicate this way, can't we? Their safety and their health, they feel threatened. And their physicality, they feel threatened. So it makes sense that people are kind of feeling a bit scared at the moment. Okay, so then we move to Tony Robbins, which I believe Tony Robbins has kind of used this and roughly translated into the way he sees it and brings some other points into play. So we have certainty. So what is certainty? So we need to feel certain about things. So we need to know that we're safe and we can avoid pain and we can move towards pleasure. We need to know that going into these things, that we're safe, that we've got a home, we've got a job, that someone loves us. We like not feeling that that's certain, that's going to be the way tomorrow, the next day and the next day. Okay? We like to know what's going to happen, even though sometimes, see, this is what's happening now, not knowing what's going to happen will freak people who need certainty out, which is happening at the moment. So this is similar to Maslow's safety zone. Okay, then we have uncertainty. Now uncertainty is where we need new stimuli to change. We need new things thrown at us. We need things to challenge us. And things that we're familiar with and comfortable with don't challenge us, do they? See, certainty is where we're in our comfort zone. Comfort zone. Uncertainty is where we step into our growth zone. It's uncharted territories. And we go into these looking for change, wanting change, being ready for change. So some people call it uncertainty variety. Now, and you meet people who like living in uncertainty, like the person who puts a backpack on their back and they go, I'm going around the world, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know where I'm going to get work, but I'm going to do it. They're comfortable with uncertainty. That is the worst thing on the planet for someone who craves certainty. That would freak them out no end. They'd have to know, the certainty people would have to know where they're going, where they're staying, what country, what day. See the difference? Totally different. Totally different people. So next we have connection and love. Okay, so we need to feel close and connected with others. Now this also goes into belonging of Maslow's. We need to feel part of a tribe. And also there's safety in that as well. So it meets many of our needs, having connection and love. Significance. Once again, it's about feeling powerful, unique, special. And that also ties in with the esteem of Maslow's, which once again is more ego-based. Now then we come into growth, right? We talked about the growth zone with things being uncertain times. Like at the moment, things are uncertain. This is our opportunity to stretch and to grow and to try new things and to think differently. It's a very interesting time to be on this planet, that we can really use this to our advantage. So growth is where we go to reach our full potential, similar to self-actualization. And I think I said that. Where we go to reach our full potential. Now, spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, reaching our full potential. And it's very important to do this, because otherwise we become stunted and bored with life. So when we're challenged, it's the best opportunity to grow. So look at what I can learn from here. What can I grow from here? What can I take from here that is like a golden gem of teaching? So it's a different way of looking at it. Growth, if we don't grow as human beings or evolve, well, what's the purpose of being on this planet if we stay the same as when we're 20 years old? It doesn't make sense. We're here to grow. And growth can be very challenging, and it can be very difficult, and it can be a bit painful at times. But if we stay in our comfort zone where it is, nothing challenges us, it's safe, it's cozy, it's actually boring and monotonous, we won't evolve. We won't evolve on those 3 levels that I mentioned. And then we have contribution. These are the higher level. The higher level needs as we move up our evolutionary scale, our evolutionary ladder. And contribution is very important, because the secret of living is giving. How great do we feel when we're giving to someone, when we're doing something that will benefit others? It actually makes us feel good inside, and that's what we're about. We're about serving each other. We're about sharing and giving and growing together and supporting each other. So this is, like when we're part of something bigger than us, a part of something outside of us, where we're just giving freely and lovingly, and it's a beautiful way to grow. So the more you give, the better you feel. And at the moment, you're seeing great acts of kindness amongst people. And it can be like that guy in Rome sitting on his balcony playing the saxophone for everyone. Other people are finding out who needs some shopping or food and drops it at their door, or picking up their prescriptions. So there's ways of helping each other, connecting with each other via Zoom and talking and just messaging each other, how are you doing today? What can I do to help? Sharing, uplifting stories and jokes, and there's so much we can do and contribute to the world at this time, and our own good hearts can make things change amongst each other. This is a real time where humans can really pull together and raise the vibration of the planet and themselves. So, I hope this explains a bit about why people are behaving the way they are. And one thing I want to say as well, when we come to the subconscious mind, our subconscious mind, its prime directive is about keeping us safe. And it goes back to the days when we, were hunted by saber-toothed tigers and things like that. The subconscious hasn't evolved up to modern days. We don't get chased by these things anymore. But if the subconscious perceives a threat, it might not even be a real threat, it will do whatever it can to keep you safe. And it will make you behave on these base levels. So that's getting food, getting your shelter, bunkering down, being fearful, okay? So people are operating from that space because that's being triggered. Their fight or flight response is being triggered at the moment. So if you're aware of this, now that you're aware of it, you can say, okay, now I understand why people are acting weird. That's why I'm feeling a bit, weird at the moment myself. I'm a bit upset. But you know that you can move through these things because this is part of your growth. This is part of human behaviour, and human behaviour can be changed. And being aware of the human behaviour is the first step of changing. So I hope you find this helpful. I'd like you to like it and subscribe. Click on the button there or there, wherever it is. And keep well and keep smiling and keep united. Let's be united in this. It's all okay. We can get through it. See you later. Bye.